How much are property taxes in Crossville, Tennessee? And does the sales tax run sky high to compensate for that super low rate? What are the other taxes that you would face if you made that move to Crossville? Well, I'm Anna Willemstein, your Crossville, Tennessee realtor, and my husband Paul and I take calls and text messages every single day from people just like you looking to make that move to Crossville. Now let's talk about Tennessee's tax burden. Crossville sits in the heart of Cumberland County, Tennessee, right atop the Cumberland Plateau. Now, here's the cool thing. We have the second lowest property tax rate in the entire state of Tennessee. Our tax rate for property is at 1.135 per $100 of assessed value. What does that look like in real life? Well, pretty beautiful, actually. I live right here in Crossville. I live in a 1,700 square foot home, 3-bed, 2-bath, on 2/3 of an acre, and I pay, brace yourself, $749 a year in property taxes. You heard that right, not per month, per year in property taxes. I live in a nice, clean, attractive neighborhood, and I do not pay an HOA. Let's compare my property tax bill to some tax bills of clients that have moved here from Illinois, New York, and California. Let's look at 3 homes of similar square footage, numbers of beds and baths, and compare the property taxes on each of those properties. So let's say you're coming from Geneva, Illinois, a beautiful area, but your annual property tax bill for a similar home to what I described as my own here in Crossville, it's going to run you about $7,600 a year, and you can stack an HOA on top of that. And it's a hefty one. It's over $200 a month. If you were to move here from Del Mar, New York, another great area, beautiful, but you're going to pay $5,400 a year in property taxes for a home similar to the one I own and pay taxes on here in Crossville, Tennessee. Let's say you're coming from Anaheim, California. What would your property tax burden be there? Well, $8,400 per year. I know California is beautiful and New York and Illinois have their charm. Is it worth that much in property taxes? Can you imagine yourself selling your home in Illinois or New York or California and trading your monthly property tax bill of between $450 to $700 per month for instead, here in Crossville, only $62 per month? Now let me address the question that I get all the time, and it's completely understandable, it's rational, it's logical. Okay, Anna, I hear that your property taxes are significantly lower than where I live in Illinois, New York, or California. But what about your sales tax rate? Is it higher to compensate for that low property tax rate? And the answer is, well, not really. Here in Crossville, we do have a sales tax rate of 9.75%. But on groceries, you only pay 6.75%. Most groceries, prepared foods, things like that. In Geneva, Illinois, you pay 8% sales tax, but most groceries are only taxed at 1.75%. And on top of that, if you have your groceries delivered or DoorDash or anything like that, you're going to pay an extra $1.50 tax per every single delivery. That's a new thing thanks to JB Pritzker. Del Mar, New York, you're going to pay 8% sales tax, except for on groceries. Those are totally exempt of sales. Let's take a look at Anaheim, California. In Anaheim, California, you're going to pay 7.75% sales tax. And again, most groceries are exempt of that sales tax. So there's definitely a difference, but run the numbers and you will see you're still far and away getting a better deal between the savings on property taxes here in Tennessee. How about state income tax? Well, in Tennessee, you pay 0% in state income tax. If you are in Illinois, you're going to pay a 4.95% state income tax. In New York, if you make between $13,000 and $80,000 per year, you pay 5.5% state income tax. And in California, if you make between $55,000 and $70,000, you pay 8% in state income tax. That makes Tennessee an amazingly friendly state for retirees to move to, because you're not paying additional state income tax on either public or private pensions. You're not paying it on withdrawals from your 401k distributions, from other investment accounts, and you're also not paying that state income tax on your Social Security. What about vehicle registration? What about tags for your vehicles? Well, you're going to pay $26.50 for the whole year for your vehicle's tags. If you have an electric vehicle or a hybrid, you're going to pay either $100 on top of that $26.50 or $50 for a hybrid on top of that $26.50 for the whole year. Illinois, California, New York, tags run much, much, much higher, and you have a lot of emissions inspections and things like that. What gives? What is Tennessee doing to keep their tax burden so very low? Well, the answer is this. It comes from one of our main industries here in Tennessee that we are blessed by: tourism. Tennessee takes in tax revenue from three different areas that are attached to tourism: hotel motel tax, amusement tax, think of like Titans football games, Predators hockey games, concert ticket sales, and then also from our restaurant tax. We have people coming in all the time, not to Crossville, but to Nashville and Memphis and Chattanooga and Knoxville and Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, all of our areas, and we are helping our citizens have a lower tax burden by encouraging that tourism as a main industry here. Something else to consider is that our public schools here in Cumberland County, they do not look like Ivy League college campuses. We keep it much more simple. Now, Nashville in the Bellevue area, they just built a $150 million high school campus. Gulp. That is so expensive. And I can tell you, Nashville has the property taxes to prove it. We're not doing that here in Crossville. Speaking as a mom of 3 daughters, I would rather keep my property taxes low so I can afford to take care of my family than have my students go to some state-of-the-art Harvard lookalike high school campus. Some other factors to consider about how does Crossville keep their tax burden so low? It has to do with the fact that if you live outside of city limits like I do, I don't live far. I'm 15 minutes or less from Walmart and everything, all the things that Crossville has to offer. But I don't have city sewer. I have a septic system to manage our waste. What does it cost me to maintain that septic system? Not much. Like I said, we've never had a problem. I pay Cheryl Septic every 4 years. I pay them $275 to come out and maintenance my septic system, give it a good pumping. And like I said, I have 3 daughters living at home with us. So, there's a lot of showers being had, bathroom usage, and we don't ever have any issues. Another factor is, again, I live outside city limits and I pay $31 a month to Silk Sanitation to come and do my trash pickup. There's also a free dump like every 5 miles on Highway 127. So if you don't want to pay $31 a month and you have a pickup truck, you can haul your own trash. But it's another way that they keep that cost of property taxes way, way, way down. And I'm telling you that it's worth it. So just to summarize, Crossville has an absolutely rocking low property tax rate, and Tennessee's tax burden in general is so appealing for so many out-of-state buyers who are coming here. They want the Tennessee way of life. They are ready for change and they're ready to save some money, live a slower pace, have an amazing community. If that's you and you're thinking about making that move, give us a call or a text message. Our number's on the screen. We'd love to be a part of helping you find the perfect home for you here in Crossville.